Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of Healing Stars, and this is a chart for the full moon this morning, 4:52 a.m. in the UK. And can you see how many red lines there are in this chart? A full moon, you're always going to get the sun. Here it is down here in Capricorn in the royal blue, opposite the moon in the gold energy. The moon is in Cancer. So those two will always form this red line, this opposition of energy. Now, Capricorn, as a sign, is governed in turn by Saturn. Saturn's over here at the moment, a 2.5-year stay in Scorpio. The moon, however, is in her own sign of Cancer. Now, the moon and Cancer are emotions, feelings. And think of Cancer, the crab. It has this outer shell, but inside it's very soft, it's very vulnerable. Have you been feeling vulnerable? Have you been feeling upset or hurt over the last couple of days? Because the moon always goes through a sign. It takes about 2.5 days to pass through a sign. So full moons, as you might imagine, bring things up into fulfillment. We see the moon at this time. We can feel the vibration of the moon. Hopefully, if it's not cloudy where you are. And so, as I'm recording this, the moon will still be very full. And this energy changes after the moon really moves into the next sign of Leo. But let's stay a while at the full moon energy. You can see down here Venus. Venus, of course, now is moving retrograde, going backwards through Capricorn throughout the whole of January, right until the end. And Venus retrograding is forming one of these squares, red lines, with Mars, the planet of war, in Libra at this time. Now, I've just done a webinar on Venus when she joined the Sun on January the 11th in Capricorn, and I'm now publicizing my next webinar, focusing this time in turn on Mars. That's on January 25th. You can register at my website, healingstars.com. When Venus and Mars are in this relationship, because it is, all planets are in relationships, and that's basically what these lines in the center are talking about. Red ones are difficult, blue ones create flow and are easy. We can often take those for granted. But the red line, the tension at the moment between Venus and Mars, is the battle of the sexes. But also with Venus and Mars, there's passion. As signs, naturally, they are opposite each other. So opposites can also attract. However, at this time, and I will talk in depth about Mars in Libra is weak because Mars likes the red sign, Aries, the opposite sign. It likes Scorpio, that turquoise sector. Mars likes action. And Libra is all about diplomacy, about pleasing the other. So you can see the problem at this time. And Mars is in Libra right up until July. So we need to understand more about it and what it means for us personally. Again, as I said, subscribe at my newsletter and you'll find out. But now this is coming to fruition, this exact square, tomorrow, 17th of January. But it's still vibrating as an energy because a full moon, as I said, brings things up into the open. That's the biggest tension in the chart. Also, of course, the sun and moon opposite in the signs of Capricorn. Capricorn is a sign very much to do with authority. It's a sign naturally connected to the top of our charts, the zenith, the highest point. And that's what, like the mountain goat climbs to the top of the mountain. So for all of us, the focus on Capricorn at this time, during this month, until the next 5 days, is all about our achievements, our success, and how we are in the world, how we are seen in the world. It's the classic, you go to a party, people say, what do you do for a living? they're asking about your midheaven, the highest point, the zenith point. It's a Capricorn question. What do you do? How do people see you? What's your status? So that is in focus at this full moon. The opposite sign, Cancer. Cancer naturally is to do with our home, our family. And that's important for us. It's our clan. So for all of us at this time, it's a focus, a contrast between family and career. But also, Cancer, the moon, is mother. Capricorn can be father. So also we're talking about the sexes in the roles of mother and father. So this is very much about gender at this full moon, because we also have this contrast with Mars and Venus. Think about your relationships. We're all being asked constantly to heal our relationships with each other. Mars in Libra can be aggressive. It can be passive aggressive. Have you noticed that in the last week around you with people in your lives? This is within each of us. We all have Mars. It's how we get our needs met. And Venus is how we feel appreciated. Venus, of course, is the planet of love. And at this time, Capricorn needs respect. It's a key word for Capricorn. It needs to be admired for its achievements, for its ability to stay the course, to do the work, to put the effort in. So if you are a Capricorn, or you are friends with Capricorns, appreciate them during their birthday, their month. Now we are moving in a few days' time. That's the second day, that's the 17th of January. Here the moon has changed sign. You can see how fast the moon moves into Leo. And it's opposite Mercury at this time in Aquarius. So this is a good day for feeling your feelings, but being generous. Leo is a lovely place for the moon to be, because Leo is about the pussycat, the king, the jungle. King of the jungle is Leo. And with Leo, all you have to do, like a cat, is stroke. Leos are naturally warm as people. And Mercury is a good sign for Mercury, Aquarius, at this time. Mercury now is moving fast, only being Aquarius for 3 weeks. So another thing to bear in mind is to show your appreciation, your gratitude to people in your life. I'm just going to whiz forward until you see how fast the sun. Now the sun is in Aquarius. That's by the 20th of January in the UK. Aquarius is the sign of humanity. It's a sign of groups, of teamwork. Mercury is now ahead of the sun, so Mercury leads the way. So be aware of groups that you associate you with, you like, friends you like hanging out with, and you might want to look, reevaluate. Are you still involved with any group at this time? This is the key time of the year to be reevaluating anyhow. Mars in Libra, Mercury in Aquarius. What is also going to happen, I'm just going to move forward a bit more for you to see. Hopefully you see what I'm doing, catching just one day at a time. Now, by the 25th of January, we have a little bit more blue. Have you noticed the lines are now moving to blue as opposed to red? So there's more harmony as we move into this very good day of Mercury in Aquarius, making a good relationship focus on Mars in Libra. Air signs are all about communication. And that is the way through, I believe, with all of us, is to be clear as we possibly can in our communication. If you also notice on this day, you can see this other aspect becoming very tense. Here, Venus retrograding is almost, but not quite. She doesn't quite make it, I can tell you. But she's almost backtracking to join Pluto. She doesn't quite get there. But anyhow, Pluto is always about intensity and depth. And on that day, Jupiter is right opposite Pluto. Watch out on the 25th. That's when I'm going to give my webinar. But it is also, as I said, about transforming our relationships, healing our relationships, and recognizing our projections. That's very key for all the work I do. And I do take this on board myself. I do recognize, where I'm judging, where I'm going, and only the other day I noticed my judgments about people and being idiots. I'm confessing here. And of course, I'm the idiot here. I'm not seeing that we're all doing the best that we possibly can at this time with what we know. So hopefully you can join me on the 25th of January, because this webinar I'm giving, I will be looking at power struggles. I will be looking at our communication style. So if you do sign up, you get a chance to ask a question, and hopefully I can answer those. So this is a little taste of this full moon energy. Of course, there's a shift once the sun moves into Aquarius, but also I'm just going to whiz forward a little bit more just to show you what's unusual about this month is, can you see it? Here it is. It's the 31st, but actually be the 30th. We have another new moon. We call it a blue moon. So in January, right on January the 1st, right at the end of the month, there is another new moon, another opportunity for a new beginning. So it's also quite nice to think about a blue moon, once in a blue moon and all the metaphors. I'm just moving that back to get the exact time of it, roughly. It is at 11 degrees, the same degree. And there it is, almost there. So it is actually in the UK around the end of the 30th of January. Join me on my webinar. I'd love to have you there. And notice that new moon. I'll talk more about it later in the month. Jupiter is a very focal planet at this time. It's there right opposite Pluto at the end of the month. So thank you for watching. I'm Pam of healingstars.com.